my little crones, my little munchkins, and my little chickens? Well, we're going to do a quick recap of what happened on Potomac.
Yes.
And let's see what happened on Potomac. Go ahead, baby Crone. Let's just get to the one. Besides, I hope everything with you all today, that you have a lovely, gorgeous day. It's early in the morning, around about 8 o'clock. I don't know what time you're going to get it, but I hope you enjoy your day. With that being said, baby Crone is on her way to school, so we got to do a quick recap, because I said I ain't going to wait till the evening to do it. I'm doing it now. So here we are. Let's hit it, baby Crone. So we're going to just do it so baby Crone can go to school. Love you. She's not late yet, but let's get it done. I love you, baby Crone.
Love you too. Mm-hmm. So, quickly, it just seemed like we was talking about an accumulation of things.
There was a lot going on.
Yep. So Ashley did talk about how her friend Deborah said one thing, but then when they showed footage, it didn't look like Chris was hitting on her. Like,
wait a minute, who's that?
Deborah, Sesame Street girl.
Oh, you talking about Ashley?
Yeah, Ashley.
Okay, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Ashley did admit that Deborah's words didn't line up with the video footage. However, she still stands strong because she says Deborah never doesn't lie, so she still trusts her.
So wait a minute, you're saying that he really did come on to Deborah, according to Deborah.
Yes.
The camera didn't catch it at the moment, so it's not documented. And Ashley is saying, but it did happen. Got you.
Yes.
Didn't catch that. Very good insight, baby Crone.
Thank you.
College is working.
So, a little bit of sad news, because then we moved on to Gazelle, and she talked about how her surgery was more
Didn't I
traumatic.
talk about that? Didn't I talk about this? Didn't I talk about I was just appalled? Didn't we do this?
No.
We did. We talked about the Real Housewives of Potomac.
Yeah, part 1. This is part 2.
But I didn't talk about her saying appalling things to her ovaries.
Yeah, that was in part 1.
Okay, so this is part 2.
Two.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, go ahead. Okay.
So, Gazelle talked about how her surgery was supposed to be 3.5 hours, and it ended up being 8.5 hours long.
She almost died.
Yeah, and her family was concerned.
And this is what Candace made a joke out of, and she didn't even retract that.
Nope, she didn't.
And you know what? See, when you start digging, you might as well just go from the other end and start digging. Because right now, I don't think that she said it to get pity. But I think she said it to say, girl, this almost cost me my life.
Yeah.
Girl, to your husband and some BS, you talking about my life and my kids. I don't have that kind of hatred or disdain for anybody. But you made fun of my demise and didn't even know the circumstances. And when I said I'm willing, you rejected it.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, as sure as born, you reap everything you put out in the earth. And right now, Candace is having difficulty in having a baby by the man that she's, what is the word? Violently.
Yes.
Violently. Violent.
Yes.
Want to protect a grown man.
Yeah.
She got him amped like that. She got her husband feeling that way because she's an immature woman. She's not fully matured. She's got some growing to do. The Candace you see today, give her another 7 years. She's have a child mind. She doesn't know yet. She's just spoiled. And if you notice, she's the same, and you see Ashley is mellowing.
Yeah, that is true.
You see maturity in Ashley, but you don't see it in Candace. See, Ashley done lived. Ashley done had experiences. Ashley know what it's like to hurt and love. Ashley done had a couple of babies. Ashley lived life. Candace has yet to do it. She's still on, I'ma fight I said this last week. Let's go on.
Yes. However, it seems like Gazelle's also on the chopping block because they're saying that Gazelle is not opening up and sharing her life more. Even though she was like, I shared with you guys.
She done shared a heartbreak. She done shared so much that they pretty much call her the sleep around girl. She done shared that she done had 2 or 3 love affairs, and now she's the hoe. She don't share her life. What do you mean? What do you mean she doesn't share her life? She had a blow up just a couple of years ago with a husband that was with her ex-husband, and not mentioning the black guy. I can't even remember the guy. So you guys just never enough. It's like for real, for real.
Yeah.
No matter what they give, she never give her. Like, what else could she give? You want blood.
Yes.
But you know what, Gazelle? Don't give them your blood.
Or Robin.
Or Robin, or any of you on that stage. Don't give them your blood. Because the world will drink it and crucify you anyway.
Yes.
They'll give it, they'll take it, eat it, feast on it like it's a Thanksgiving turkey, and still call you a dumb bee.
Mm-hmm.
And still say they want you fired.
Yes.
At your broken state. Mm-hmm. Try to feed these crumb snatchers. They are people that crumb snatchers. They snatch your soul. Don't feed them. Don't feed them. And before you fire me, I will walk away.
Yeah.
Oh, but because I'm not giving you, I'm not feeding you your fuel to ignite the negativity in your life. You can't feast off of me because I'm not going to allow you to burp and be full off of me and still treat me as if I'm a non-factor. Mm-hmm. No, I don't think so. And anybody that will sell their soul like that, you get what you get. I'm sorry, baby. You know that bothers me. And you all know I have struggled with this. Mm-hmm. Because I think it's so cruel that people lose their jobs. This is a job. Yes. We're in inflation. We're going through in America. Mm-hmm. And the very people that sit back and say, fire them. I could see it if they did something really bad. Right. But to just hold a little information, you owe us. I don't owe you nothing.
Right.
I'm done. That just irks me.
Yeah. It was just fitting because they both have a podcast together. And I found it interesting that now Gazelle is also being accused of
But you gotta understand it went through the colorism thing. However, I did like that they dealt with the colorism. Yes, and I'm glad that everybody concurred that there isn't no colorism. But what was the awkward feeling about it is Andy Cohen. I'm gonna sit here and that was so elitist.
Yeah, he was.
That was so that was so elitist.
He was trying to be woke, but he was not.
No, he wasn't trying to be low. He wasn't trying to be anything. What I saw was, look, there is a problem that, colorism. And guys, I don't know anything about that. So why you don't know anything about it? You've been with this show for years. You make a whole lot of critical decisions about these girls' lives. Oh, you are a white man in America and you want to tell ain't gay? Ooh, see, if I like that N-word, that stands for ignorant, I would put please on the end of that. Andy, I adore you. God knows. But you should have been a part of the conversation. Why? Because that's the problem. Yeah. We need to talk about it. You could have said, I never seen it. You could have said, I never seen it. No one ever came to me about it. The closest I dealt with something like this was with Nene and Kim.
Yeah, you're right. I know he said nothing.
But you sat there and said nothing. And since you can't identify, then you need to give a black person or a mixed person that seat that can stand up and be a mediator. Even in that.
And then on top of that, he gave the
and I like Andy Cohen, don't get me wrong. Mm-hmm.
He gave the chair to Candace to lead the
of all people, who you should have gave it to lead, honestly, is Karen. because she is a good speaker.
Yeah, that Candace is definitely not.
Candace was not the one. Candace just said an insult about another woman's uterus. Who gonna respect anything she says with that filthy, foul mouth? No, it should have been Karen, because overall, Karen have her problem with the old heads. She doesn't have a problem, so that makes her in a way neutral. And she's a very good speaker. Yes, you could have given it to Gazelle, but Gazelle is on the chopping block. So Karen, and because Gazelle is light-skinned,
Right.
all right? Or do they still call them high yellows, red bones, whatever they call? I hate those names, okay? How often? So what we're going to say, that's why they couldn't use Gazelle, so they went to the darker hen. How? Y'all didn't see that.
No. And then Wendy, of course, tagged along.
And no, you can't do Wendy because she's the darkest of them all who they're talking about. Because from what I understand about this colorism, it's about the dark-skinned woman, if I'm understanding.
Yes.
It's about her. It ain't about me. Why? Because I'm the lighter skin, okay? Now, if I was around a bunch of white people and I'm the dark-skinned one, right, then it's about me.
Yes.
But right now, it's about her. Am I right?
Yes.
So it's about dark skin. Who is the darkest in the bunch? In this case, it's about Candace.
Yeah.
It's about
Wendy.
Wendy. Definitely Wendy. And maybe the other woman. Shonice?
Oh,
Charlotte?
Charisse.
Charisse. Because they're the darker ones. But Charisse haven't been in it like that. She's always off and on. And I like Charisse being around. So she's always off and on. So she doesn't have anything to do with this when this was going on.
Yeah.
So with that being said, as long as these shows been on, we ain't had no problem with people talking about this on
Yes.
Potomac. But now we got to deal with this. And as I said, I never saw the colorism.
Nope. However, Mia and Ashley decided to take the high road and apologize anyway.
Let me say this, and if you notice, all this drama is coming from new people. Because remember, Candace is overly, she came in new. You got to understand, these are the new generation. So maybe y'all need to mix up these ages. Maybe y'all need to start getting everybody in their 30s. Maybe y'all need to start getting people in their 40s that's seasoned. Stop getting these teeny boppers. 23 and 25 or 20. Y'all need to amp it up with some older people with some real problems.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. Well, anyway, go ahead, baby Crone.
Yes, and so moving off of the colorism, but still talking about Wendy, she was talking about how she had to change her diet and after
For having that thing with
Yeah,
the kidney stones, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And back to Wendy quickly. Wendy had something to say about the colorism too.
Yeah,
She said she didn't experience it. What do you remember what she said anyway?
No,
Because I don't want to dismiss Wendy.
Yes, because Wendy did mention it,
Yes.
and even though she didn't feel
she had something to say about it.
right, she might have could have felt a certain way because she still had felt like she was assaulted by Robin, but you know Wendy has a mouth, so sometimes she has to be careful with the way she behaves. So I feel as though she can reflect on that, and maybe that's why she wasn't so gung-ho in the colorism.
Well, nevertheless, we ain't never dealt with nothing until that daggone Wendy walked in the scene. See, this is what happens. I'm going to be honest. Can I be honest?
Okay.
This is what happens when you get different Americans. See, if Wendy was born in America,
That is true.
she's African.
Yes.
And you know, and this is my opinion, and y'all know I love people. But Africans have a superior
They do.
way of thinking. And they have a strong expectation for education
Yes.
and all these things. They come from a place, especially when they wasn't raised here. They come from, especially if their family come from and was raised. So they had that African way of thinking. They really don't really feel the full effects of what it was like back in unless you was an African and your family grew here and they've been living here for 100 years. If your family ain't been here 100 years, you can't really relate. If your family if your family lived here 50 years, you're still a baby, but you can kind of relate. But a lot of these are new beginnings. I don't know how long her mother and father has been in this country, but clearly, I don't know. But they have African roots, you know, and so does Wendy. So their way of thinking, even though they're black, they're not black, they're Africans. We are the black Americans. So it's hard to, when she grew up around, that's normal. Right. Probably everybody in our family was that color. We grew up with multicolors.
Yes.
It ain't no, look. So this is normal. It may not be that way in African culture. So we really need to be mindful. And I think that Wendy needed to touch on that. The very fact that Wendy said she didn't feel it, that should have been enough. I don't think we needed a lecture. But that's my opinion. Moving on.
Yeah, and of course Candace did her little cry. And Andy was just like, hold up, let me get your squares. She was like, yes. But anyway.
It's just amazing how you could be so vulgar. See, that's bipolar. I'm not saying she bipolar. I'm going to change that. That just seemed like some kind of mood disorder.
I like that.
Because I can't say that Candace, because I do like Candace, but it's her mouth. And I can understand her being sassy. It's the profanity that comes with it. It's all of that. It's just not, it's not cute. It's like, this is my opinion. This is me. And maybe this is too much, but I'm going to say it. You know when you see gay people, and you know when a gay person argue with you, right? They may say, let me tell you something, this thing. Let me tell you, fish. Let me, let me tell you, your coochie stink, your mother stink, and that's what she's coming off as.
Yes.
Do you understand? And it's like, stop. We're ladies. They're learning to be ladies. We ladies, we don't speak that way. Furthermore, we do have a lady part. And we treasure it and we don't speak ill of it. But it is time that we start talking about lady parts and problems and sex. It ought to be open. Right? So, in that way, I just feel like that was a delicate subject, but I just feel as though that's what I see. When I see women come off thinking they can read you, that just seems so gay to me.
It does.
Because it's like now I can go toe to toe with a gay man and read him. Not ladylike. And I truly believe that's their culture. That's what they do. Why are we trying to be like them when they want to be a lady? So show them what a lady is like. Does that make sense? Did I fix it?
Yes.
Thank you, baby.
You're welcome.
Go ahead. We almost done?
Yes, we are. So
not rushing, but baby Crone gotta leave.
Yes. So lastly, we're gonna be talking about Mia a little bit.
Go ahead.
Because Mia said that Wendy slept with Peter, and that's why Wendy had such a amazing.
But they didn't even believe it.
No.
They didn't even believe it. They laughed at that. Wendy laughed at it.
She did. Hey, who knows? But also.
But wasn't it Wendy who let see her twat or feel it?
Yeah. Yes, you're right.
See, you laugh at people, but when that people get that juice in them.
Right, and it was for her restaurant too.
Yeah, so they was there probably having drinks. And let's be 100. Peter is a very attractive man.
Yeah.
If Peter looked his eyes at me and gave me a, hey, I'd be like, hey. I put on my best girly. What? Hey, Peter. Hi. Yes. Oh, yes. Would you like a drink? Yeah, Coca-Cola, please. So anyway, so Peter is very attractive. So it would not surprise me under alcohol, a little something may have happened because it happened with Mia. And they were just arguing, so I
Yes,
rest
they
my
were.
case on that.
Yeah,
I rest my
and
case.
lastly, for a sneak peek.
And so for Candace, who is close with Wendy, of course she's going to be a buffer because she's dealing with that in her marriage. I rest my case.
You're right.
And another thing, I'm going to say this. I'm not saying, and I'm sorry, I am not saying that Wendy have an unattractive husband. And what I think and feel does not matter, okay? But no, he do not look like Ibis Albert to me. No. And he is, they say he's attractive. And to me, I think I have to see, he's a person that I would have to see in person.
Oh.
Why? Because I got to see his height. I got to see his build.
True.
Because if I'm just going by his looks only, no. And that he ugly. Mm-hmm. But he looked like he's the kind of attractive that's a total package attractive. Oh. Like tall, dressed nice, nicely built. Mm-hmm. That you got to see some things that the camera's not picking up. Like, and when people looking at you, they probably think that you're a little bit more bigger than what you are. But when they see you in real life, they're going to see them curves. They're going to see you nicely built. But because this is 3D, you can't see it. And for its, what am I saying?
For its
lifestyle.
All of it in totality.
Right. And that's what I want to say. So no, I'm not saying he is an attractive man. But he is not. See, when I look at Ibis Albert, I get to see him in action. I get to see him on screen. I get to see a total him. He's a DJ, of course. Just the fact he's a DJ. And what's that song he made? Bump It.
I forget.
Bust It.
No, Boasty.
Oh, Boasty. You know, when you seeing that, come on. You know, of course, he's attractive. He's an actor. Look at what he played in. You seen him be intimate, of course. So that's a whole different. So I can't put our husband with Eva Albert. It's not fair. Okay? But if I put our husband with Candace, I think that's a fair match. Because I think Candace have another attractive husband. I think they both do. And I also thought Michael is attractive. And for all of you out there that say, oh, that's why he be getting all the ladies. He got Candace. Obviously, he must be something in the bedroom. Got a Candace crime. But enough of that. But go ahead.
Just lastly, we got a little sneak peek of part 3 where Jacqueline will be coming in. Oh, actually.
With her receipt box.
Yes.
And did you see me? Okay, honey.
Yeah, they was like, we playing this game? Okay.
Okay.
Bedazzled and everything.
My Mia. Okay, honey, that's what we're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because she was
So
just
this
like.
is what we're doing now.
Mm-hmm. Because Jacqueline was like, you want to see the messages? And Mia was just like, go ahead.
Go ahead, honey. This is what we're doing. And
Yes. Yes, she
Girl.
came with the wrist.
So this is what we're doing. Okay.
Yes.
This is my Mia. This is what we're doing, girl. Okay.
Yeah.
That's my Mia. That's my Mia. She is so snooty. Ooh, but she's so, to me, she's what I call down to earth.
Yes, that is true.
Because she knows she can raggedy. But she classy.
Yes.
She's one of them people that know you can take her somewhere and she know how to behave. Just tell her what she gotta do.
Yes.
And she says, okay, I'll play the chameleon. Mm-hmm. That's what I love about her. And who else is like that?
Did you say Ashley's like that?
Actually, Ashley is too much of a vixen.
Oh, okay.
She flaunts sex appeal. I can identify with Ashley. Because she's like a vixen. She's like cutie. Mm-hmm. She's attractive. She's pretty. She's cutie. She's frisky. She's always dancing, showing her body. I can identify more with her. Although I'm older, I would not be behaving in those ways. But nevertheless, I can identify with more of the Ashley character versus Candace. Or who was I saying?
You was talking about Mia.
Mia is somebody that, on the goodness of Mia, she's somebody that I admire. Because I think that forget all the things she's going through financially. Yes. I think she wear money well.
Yes, she does.
I think she wears money well. Who else do I think wear money well? Karen wear money well. She wears money. No, forget the look. I'm talking about the whole persona. Not just they have money. You look at them and they look like they have money. They look like, they act like it. You know, they're like the poem. They got gold wells in their backyard. When they walk, it's like oil squeak out their shoes because they have such a persona about them. Another person who does that to me is Gazelle. No matter how dressed she dresses, yes. Although there are things that Gazelle wear that I really do admire. And I know from what I've seen of her house, I like it. It's eclectic, it's her style. I think it's beautiful. Yeah. And outside and from what they show in the camera. Also, I like the way Gazelle dressed, but she has an air about her. And even, like I said, you all, please just observe this horrible, horrendous thing that, said her eyes bucked like it hurt her. Like, girl, you don't know what I've been through. Yes. This may not be the thing you want to talk about, but she didn't say anything. And it was that look, Candace, if you knew, you wouldn't say what you're saying. Mm-hmm. She just didn't say anything. And that's what I'm saying. She don't.
Right. And then in the next episode, we had learned about her story about how horrendous and tragic
she was in surgery for
8.5 hours.
And you can't tell me that Candace didn't feel a way about that.
Okay, Candace must.
Didn't you see her held her head down like, oh, see, you gotta be. That's what I'm saying. Women, there are grounds that we ought not go. Just like men have rules. Mm-hmm. Men know I can't go this way with this man. Men, you gotta have guidelines, and we women, we need some guidelines. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Well, that was pretty much it for the episode because in the next episode, part 3, which will be the last of the reunion. Mm-hmm. The husbands will be coming on. Oh, and Charisse will be joining us as well.
I can't wait. And my last thing I want to say, when it come down to the dressing, this is the first time that I can truly say, in my opinion, I think Gazelle was a hot mess. It wasn't much of the dress. It was more of the hair. It just looked like she had a bird nest. Like she had to do her hair herself and said, that look good. And just, no. I think Candace was overly dressed with that peacock dress on. It was just too much. I didn't like Karen's hair up. It made her look way, way too older. And you could see the wrinkles. That just wasn't a look for her. Mm-hmm. Wendy, I personally didn't particularly care for the dress. Ashley was too underdressed. She was peacockish too. However, I didn't like the color blue. I thought the color did not bring out, it was the wrong color blue, I think. And I just didn't think the color blended with their skin. They needed more warmer colors. Yeah. Blue just didn't, they having a blue, even both of these two, what are they, reunions, they were not exciting. They had no fluff, no chills, no nothing. I'm waiting for the grand. And I'm hoping they're saving it for last.
Yes.
And who is the grand? With Karen and, what's her name? Charlize.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're going to deal with some things. So we'll see. Mm-hmm. So I hope that it is good because from what I gathered, it wasn't that. It's okay, but it wasn't that good of a 2 season. So we're going to do our last next week, and we hope to see you there. Well, we thank you for joining us with our recap on the Potomac Part 2. Is there anything you want to say? Is there anything you want to add?
No, not really.
You sure? Anything you want to say about any character?
No, just besides the fact that we're starting to. It seems like in this reunion that we're just digging into like the details of everybody's
life. To give it to the last, saving the best for the last, saving that big turkey burger for the last.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it feels like a good way to end the season.
Yes,
it feels like we are getting a wrap up.
And it just seemed like Karen has been sitting there seething like, I can't wait for it's my turn.
Of course, because she got a grand dame.
Yeah. So anyway, we thank you, my little crones, my little munchkins, and my little chickens. Please enjoy your day. Top of the morning to you. Ciao.